The program is the Presbyterian Show, the show that discusses everything Presbyterian. Today we are doing personality profile. We're having a chat with Reverend Dr. Seth Kissi. Don't go away, it's going to be exciting. We'll be right back.
This is a voice sampled for Ed Music Studio. As part of our strategy to meet the vocal requirements of our most cherished clients, we have sampled different voice clips to aid clients appreciate the clarity of our voices and our delivery styles. Check out our other voice samples and pick what suits your brand the most. You can reach us for your jingles and voiceovers on 0244-207-397 or 0271-223-444 or 0302-327-039. Thank you for listening.
Welcome back. The show is still the Presbyterian Show, and we have Reverend Dr. Seth Kissi in the studio. Papa, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
A bird just whispered to me that you are a fantastic Greek speaker.
Oh, well, not Greek speaker per se, but a teacher or a lecturer in biblical Greek language. You know, the New Testament was written mainly in biblical Greek, Koine Greek, the Greek that was spoken in that Greek world, Hellenistic world. And so if you want to be a New Testament scholar, you will have to understand, you will have to be able to read and interpret, translate, and so on, deal with the Greek language as was used in writing the New Testament.
Right.
And so that is what I teach at the seminary.
Okay, so you studied the language here in Ghana, or
yes, I did it mainly in Ghana.
You never went to
No,
Greece?
I did everything at the seminary, Trinity Theological Seminary.
Really?
Yes, I did everything there. I only used it to do my PhD outside at University of Pretoria, South Africa.
Okay.
But I didn't go to learn it there. I learned everything at Trinity Theological Seminary, Legon.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, interesting. So let's start from the very beginning.
All right.
So who is Reverend Dr. Seth Kissi?
Is that one sitting in front of you? Yeah, so Reverend Dr. Seth Kissi, I was born about 57 years ago.
Okay.
To a policeman, C.K. Kissi.
Okay.
And to my mother, Grace Asarwa. I was born in Obokwo.
Okay.
At that time, my father, I told you he was a policeman.
Yes.
So he was stationed at Aplau.
Okay.
I didn't get to know what Aplau was because I was just a little infant. I was my infancy.
Right. But are they both alive?
My father is not alive. My mother is still alive.
Wow.
Yes, about 84 years now. Yes.
Yeah.
And we moved from Aplau to Poglu.
Where's that?
It is still in the Volta region. I don't think I have any I have any memories of the place because I was still in my infancy.
Right.
But from Poglu, we were transferred to Takoradi, and then to Efiekuma.
Okay.
And then back to Takoradi.
Right.
That is where I had a few. I have a few memories.
Okay.
Yeah, but then I remember very well from Takoradi we came to Legon.
Right.
The Legon police station. That was where I started schooling. So I was attending La Bawaleshi Presbyterian Primary School.
Okay, so being a child of a policeman, how was it like?
Well,
in terms of discipline and
you can't beat me. I mean, when it comes to discipline, you can't beat the discipline of that you will receive from a policeman. My father was not a Christian.
Really?
No, he wasn't a Christian, but he wouldn't let you go out in the night to do what? So up to now, when I step out in the night and I see children loitering, going up and down aimlessly, I ask myself, where are their parents? I still can't relate to that thing. That you get up as a child in the night and you say, I'm going out.
To have fun.
You can't do it in my house. You can't.
But was mom a Christian?
My mom later became a Christian. Yeah, she was also not a Christian, but she also became a Christian later on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were not born a Presbyterian?
No.
Wow.
It was at Ajobwe that I decided to go to church.
Oh, okay, that's fine. But so let's continue from La Baoleshi.
Okay.
What level of education?
No, that was about, I think, a kindergarten or something.
Okay,
yes.
and from there?
From there, we were transferred to Ajobwe.
Ajobwe?
Yes, Ajobwe is around Odan.
Okay.
It's under Odan. So there I attended GCD primary school, and that was the place where my mother and my father got separated.
Oh, okay. Right.
So my mom went from Ajobwe to Kade, and later I joined her together with my younger brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we went to Ajobwe, we went to Kade, not knowing where my mother was. Carried our things. We didn't even tell my father we were going. And we were in the town looking for our mother. You can imagine.
Really?
We just kept going round and round. It was just by providence that somebody was able to identify who my mother was and help us to get to know her.
Wow, was it a difficult moment or difficult years?
It was. So let me tell you a bit about that. When we went there, my mother was happy we had come. But how to take care of us
was a problem.
She was only selling some shea butter, there's sponge from the plants, okay, and those things, selling salt on the market.
Right. I
mean, you can imagine. And not even on a bigger scale.
Okay. And Daddy was somewhere else?
Daddy was still at Ajobwe. He was later transferred to Zibila in the north. That was where he died. So we were with our mother at Kede. So what I had to do to be able to survive, I was then in the middle school. I came the middle school Form 2, I think so. And so in the morning before I go to school, I would have to go and sell by the roadside.
Wow.
Yes, I would go and sell chewing sticks. Do you know that? Chewing sticks.
I know that.
Yes, I would go and sell chewing stick. And then I will return, come and take my bath and go to school.
Wow.
And then in the evening after school, I will have to collect all the things that my mother was selling. Sponge, the local sponge. This locally made pomade.
Okay,
that is shea butter.
Oh, okay.
But they also made this locally, the colored one, green, yellow. You don't know those things. Those days, they will boil it. My mother would go to the market, buy the ingredients, boil, and add color, green, red, and she will fold them in pieces, some rubber pieces. And I would go to the town selling these things.
Just take care of yourself.
To be able to support her, to be able to take care of me.
But at that age, did you really understand what separation was all about? Your mom, your dad, were they divorced or they were separated?
It was a separation that led to divorce eventually.
But did you appreciate what was going on between the two?
I don't think I did fully appreciate it, but I knew it was such an unpleasant experience. Especially when it comes to its impact on us as children.
How many were you?
We are 4 now. We were 6, but we've lost 2 of us. One male, 1 female.
Okay.
So we are left with 2 females and 2 males. Yeah, but if I look at its impact on us, it wasn't a pleasant thing. Yeah, and that was when I had to do all sorts of things, all sorts of menial jobs to be able to help myself and help my mother as well.
Right.
And so as I was saying, I would have to sell in the morning before I go to school. In the evening when I came back, I would have to sell all sorts of things throughout the town. I would walk from one end of the city to the other and go to the other side across the street and come back. Wow. Just selling to be able to support my mother. When I got to Form 3, talking about the time of the middle school, not JHS. Yeah. So middle school. When I got to Form 3, I had to stop sailing. Why? Because my mates were just making too much fun of me, teasing me. There was one particular guy called George Amwako. He was always on me. George Amwako was
always on you.
Terrible. I mean, so at that point, I came back home and told my mom, I will not sail.
Oh, okay.
And she became sad. So I had to find something else to do to make up for it.
Okay, that's fine. So fine. So from the middle school, you continued to.
Okay, so from the middle school, I didn't have the opportunity to go to secondary school. I've never been in any secondary school before.
Oh, okay.
So I applied to go to the teacher training college.
Right.
Teacher training college. I didn't choose Mount Mary Training College, but when the results came up, Mount Mary had invited me for some interview. I went and they picked me.
Right.
So I attended Mount Mary Training College. And because I didn't go as a post-second, I did not do French.
Right.
So I did the post-model 4-year teacher training.
Then you graduated as a teacher?
As a teacher.
Okay, where were you first posted?
I was posted to Kusi, which is very close to Kede. I taught there for 6 years in the primary school. And then when I managed to write my O-levels, I was sent to the JHS. At that time, we had JHS. So I was sent to the JSS. They call it JSS.
JHS, yeah.
I taught there too for 2 years, making a total of 8 years at Kusi. Right. And then I was transferred to Okumening ARS. That is where the University of Ghana have the Agric Research Station.
Right.
So I taught there too at the nursery for 2 years before I gained admission into the seminary in 1998.
Okay, so growing up, did you have the desire, or did it ever occur to you that one day you grew up to become a minister?
No, not until 1982 when I accepted the Lord, and by God's grace, some senior brethren like Brother Tine J, Brother Amal, Brother Seini Makon, Joseph Seini Makon, and others helped me to establish me in the Lord. Gave me assurance of salvation and everything. That was when I began to have the desire to serve the Lord.
Okay.
And so I was warming up towards it from that time.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
So would you call it a calling? You were called?
It was.
It was a calling.
It was a call.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll continue with the discussion.
All right.
Folks, we still have Reverend Dr. Seth Kisi in the studio. We're doing personality profile. We'll take a break. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back. The show is still the Presbyterian Show, the show that discusses everything Presbyterian. We still have Reverend Dr. Seth Kisi in the studio, and we're doing personality profile. Rev, so let's take it from your entry into the seminary.
Okay.
All right. So what were the challenges that you encountered at the seminary?
Well, when you are coming to the seminary, you usually, if you are a teacher, you will have to stop your work because you cannot come to the seminary with a leave with pay.
Right.
And so that becomes a challenge in itself. I had then married my wife, and she was pregnant. I think we were married in April, and then in September that same year, I found myself in school.
Okay.
Yeah, so it had a lot of challenges also for my wife. Yeah, and it's one of the things that really challenged me to take my studies there very, 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 very seriously.
Right.
Yeah, so I didn't go to play at all. By God's grace, I applied myself diligently to the studies there.
Okay, that's fine. And then you graduated and became a full-time minister.
No, when I graduated, I went back to the teaching.
Okay.
So I taught and still did work in the church as a part-time minister.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Full-time teacher, part-time minister.
Okay, that's fine. So at what time did you become a full-time Presbyterian minister?
I only very lately. That was when I was elected as chairperson for Achim Ebuakwa Presbytery.
Is it that you had no prior experience in terms of being a full-time minister, and then all of a sudden you were elected as chairperson of a whole presbytery?
Yeah, that is the case. So I was teaching and I was also pastoring before I returned to the seminary for further studies.
Okay.
I did at the initial stages of my ministerial formation, I did the diploma.
Right.
So when I returned after 3 years, I came to do the first degree, Bachelor of Divinity.
Okay.
And then I was given the privilege to continue with my MTH, my master's program. Okay. And that was when I started teaching at the seminary.
Right.
So I taught at the seminary, I was assisting, and when I graduated with my MTH, I went through the process and became a full-time lecturer at the seminary.
Oh, okay.
So throughout the period, about the 10 years that I spent teaching at the seminary, I was a part-time minister.
Part-time minister.
Minister.
Oh, okay.
So I was appointed or elected to be a chairman of a presbytery from that, stage. So I had never become a full-time minister up to that point.
Right. But was it a difficult thing going through the process of election to become the chairperson of the presbytery?
No, it wasn't.
Or was this?
It wasn't. I mean, I had been approached they wanted my consent for it. At that time, I knew 2 of my senior ministers were interested.
Okay.
So I indicated to them that this guy is there, the other guy is there, so allow me to concentrate on what I'm doing here. And then later they came to me and said, look, this one, another presbytery has elected him, and then this one too, he has something else, so he's traveled outside the country, so it is your turn. I said, well, it's an election.
So you went unopposed?
No. There were other people.
So what did the trick for you? What made the electorate vote for you? What's so special about you?
They are the best. They are the best people to answer this question. But I had lived in that presbytery before.
Okay.
I had worked in that presbytery. I was a member of the Bible study and prayer group.
Okay.
I rose to become the secretary, the Presbyterian secretary of Bible study and prayer group. So I was known all over. I was known all over, and so it wasn't too difficult.
That's fine.
I had also taught a number of ministers who were also in the presbytery.
Okay, who were part of the electorates.
Exactly.
Okay. What does it mean to be a chairperson of a presbytery?
That is a huge responsibility.
Yeah, what does it mean?
It means the entire presbytery is running at your instance, if you like. You know, there are demands on us, demands on the congregations, demand on the districts, and you are the connecting person to the General Assembly.
Okay.
You answer every questions about everything going on in the presbytery when you come to the General Assembly Council.
How many districts were you?
I had 26 districts in Achimwebuakwa Presbytery.
Wow.
26 districts. And you are answerable to everything that happens in each of the districts and in all their congregations. So if you had 26 districts,
you have a lot of
congregations and yes.
As a chairperson of a presbytery, are you empowered to reprimand a district minister in the event that he or she goes contrary to lay down regulations and stuff like that?
We don't actually use the word reprimand, but we try to help the person to do things right. One of the things I did which helped me as a chairperson was that when I went there, I formed a committee called the Agent Support Team.
Okay.
And this team was there to preempt things, to help, to intervene in issues and not allow them to escalate.
Okay.
And so if there were any issues having to do with a minister, I would refer it to this committee. They would handle it and bring me the results. And if it went beyond them, that is when I would take it up, and if it has to go higher, but we didn't have any instance where we had to take things beyond us.
Okay. So if today I'm to go to that presbytery and I'm to ask, what are the tangible footprints that Reverend Dr. Kisi left? What do you think I'll be told?
I think you'll be told that I was the first in the entire Presbyterian Church of Ghana to institute an agent endowment fund, which is actually a pension fund. Okay. Supplementary pension fund for ministers and pension fund for catechists and catechists. Wow. The first ever for catechists and catechists.
And it's still there?
It is still working.
Still working?
I was the first. So our ministers go on retirement. Apart from what they receive from the head office, there's a supplementary one for them in the presbytery.
Which comes every month? Or it's a bulk amount?
It is a bulk amount. If you want to take it all, it is your money. Actually, by the time you go on pension, it is already in your account, your personal account. Wow. You decide to do whatever you want to do with it, you do it. So that is the Agents Endowment Fund.
Okay, that's the first one.
That is the first one. The second one is the building of a new ultra-modern office complex. Okay. This office complex has 4 different conference rooms. We have a library. Okay. We have a museum. Oh, really? We have archives and a lot of office spaces.
Okay, so construction started when you
It started a year after I had assumed office.
Okay, and was completed before you left?
It was completed before I left. Wow. I had some, how do you call it, some bush or village faith. Some bush faith. I don't know how to. I just had the confidence and the faith that I could start and complete that project. In fact, a year before the dedication of the project, we hadn't even come halfway. Okay. But we did a calendar to advertise our centenary anniversary the following year, and we put on the calendar the date we're going to dedicate that facility. Okay. And we're just praying to God
for funds.
For funds. The little funds we had, we made sure we made the most of it. So we just kept on building. In fact, the comment that people were making there is that we have a lot of money as Presbyterians because once we started that project, we never had a break.
Continuously.
But they saw us building all the time. We were making the most of every funds that we raised and the little that came to us from the lower courts. So just a few months before time, the Lord brought some other people our way.
Wow.
Who gave us all the support we needed
To complete it.
to complete it.
Oh, okay.
And according to the schedule we put on our calendar for the celebration, we were able to dedicate that office to the glory of God.
Wow, that's interesting. I think you deserve an applause here.
Yeah, so currently, if you go there, that is where you will find yourself. They will usher you into that building. And the building itself will tell you what the Lord used us to accomplish.
Interesting. So, with all these experiences that you've chalked, okay, 2 questions. What drives you? What motivates you to do all these things that you do that has led to you attaining so much? And my second question is your aspirations for the future. So we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll take these 2 questions. Folks, it's been interesting. We're still here with Reverend Dr. Kisi. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll continue with the Presbyterian Show. Don't go away. Now let's go deep into the book. You discuss 5 main thematic areas.
Yeah.
Why worship on Sunday? Why baptize infants? Why take dead bodies to church? Can Christians eat any food? Should women cover their heads in church? 5 very strong thematic areas.
Yeah.
What informed these thematic areas?